Welcome to Quantumly Kinky with Veda, where we talk about sex, Chinese medicine, and character development for the multidimensional you. Episode 11, The Power of Erotic Hypnosis. Better sex? Yes, please. Welcome back to another episode of Quantumly Kinky. I am your host, SarahVeda, and in today's episode, we're getting into the enchanting, mysterious world of erotic hypnosis. A world where power, pleasure, and healing all intertwine in ways we've never thought possible. Now, I know we've danced around the edges of this topic before, but today we're going straight to the core. And we're talking about how erotic hypnosis, brainwave entrainment, and guided play can actually help us rewire our nervous system. And in doing that, we can even release some trauma and awaken more pleasure from the deepest parts of our being. But before we get into the juicy details, let's start with the basics. What exactly is erotic hypnosis? And why does it hold such a potent key to transforming our inner world? Let's get into some of the history first. Hypnosis has a long, complex, winding history stretching back thousands of years. From the temples of ancient Egypt, where priests would guide seekers into trance states for healing and divine insight. And then we have the shamanic trance rituals of indigenous cultures worldwide. This is where altered states were actually induced to connect with the spirit realm, heal trauma, and unlock hidden wisdom. But that's just the beginning. In the courts of ancient China, the practices of Taoist sexual alchemy actually employed hypnotic states to cultivate sexual energy, deepen intimacy, and even prolong life. Courtesans of that time were trained in the art of guiding partners into ecstatic, trance-like states where pleasure was used not just for erotic satisfaction, but for healing and enlightenment. But what is hypnosis really? Well, it's a deep state of relaxation, heightened focus, and suggestibility, where the analytical mind softens and the subconscious opens. It's a doorway to where true change happens. And here's the thing, babe, when we blend the erotic with the hypnotic, we unlock something primal, something fucking powerful. It becomes so much more than just a mental state. It becomes an invitation for the body to remember its own pleasure and power. Now let's talk about some of the science, because yes, there's actually real evidence behind the magic of hypnosis. Some research has shown that hypnosis can activate areas of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, memory, and relaxation. Studies published in the International Journal of Clinical and Experimental Hypnosis have demonstrated that hypnosis can effectively reduce pain, enhance emotional processing, and even rewire neural pathways. Take a deep breath with me. But how does this relate to the erotic? When we enter a hypnotic state while engaging in erotic play, we tap into the same mechanism that allows us to rewrite our body's responses to pain, shame, or trauma. It's like speaking directly to the subconscious where these memories are stored. Then we go a step further and we pair this with brainwave entrainment. And brainwave entrainment is where sound frequencies are used to guide our brains into specific states. For example, we have theta waves, and these are associated with deep meditation, creativity, and subconscious processing. We have delta waves, and these are associated with deep sleep and healing, a place where the body's natural restorative mechanisms can take over. There's been so many studies that have shown us binaural beats and other sound-based techniques can enhance the effectiveness of hypnosis by ultimately getting the brain to relax into these deeper states of consciousness. And then, when we combine this with eroticism, well, we're creating a playground where pleasure, healing, and transformation meet. Dr. David Spiegel, a psychiatrist at Stanford University and one of the world's leading experts on hypnosis, says that hypnosis is a powerful tool for harnessing the mind to control perception and enhance healing. And we're taking that power and using it to rewire our relationship to pleasure, to rewire our relationship to desire, to embodiment. Okay, so how does this actually work? It all comes down to neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on a new experience. When we drop into a trance state and invite pleasure to guide us, we are essentially rewriting our own neural scripts, undoing the damage left by trauma, shame, or conditioning. Erotic hypnosis gives us permission to feel, to want, to be without judgment. The body begins to associate pleasure instead of pain or fear with its own existence. And when we allow this to happen consistently, we actually create new neural pathways where pleasure becomes the default. And this is exactly why I created HYPNOTIKA EROTIKA. It's to guide us into these lush, vivid states where our desires are allowed to roam free, where we are the architect of our own erotic narrative, where our body's natural ability to heal itself becomes the most delicious form of empowerment. Are you ready to feel it? Are you ready to reclaim the pleasure that has always been yours? Imagine what's possible when you let yourself drop deep into this erotic trance state, when you let go of the shame, the stories, the tension, and you surrender to pure pleasure. Your sex life transforms. Your connection to your own body becomes sacred, electric. You become more alive, more free, more capable of loving and being loved than ever before. And it all begins by surrendering to the pleasure of your own erotic mind, by allowing yourself to feel the sensual power within you. So when you're ready, listen to my HYPNOTIKA EROTIKA transmissions and experience the deep state of hypnosis for yourself. Feel your body reclaim what has always been yours, your pleasure, your power, and your deepest healing. So my hope for you is that you really enjoy the frequencies that come from this hypnotic, erotic transmission. You allow your body to soak into a new vibrational state. You allow new neural pathways to form that advocate for your pleasure. So until next time, stay curious, stay open, and get into that erotic, hypnotic state. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Quantumly Kinky with Veda. Stay turned on. Till next time.